What up, everybody? Hey, thank you for listening to the podcast. It's pretty cool watching the downloads go up and getting some feedback. This is going to be an episode where I'm talking with Alyssa Avila, my homie, and she's an entrepreneur, um, a media person, social media marketer. She does a lot of stuff, but we've been working together for about a year, and we talk about how she makes her transition into being like a full-time following her dreams. We talk about basketball. We laugh a lot. Apologies because my homie Tomas calls. It's kind of weird moment there, and we talked to him on the phone. But yeah, I got a show July 13th at the Crescent Ballroom. It starts promptly at 7 o'clock, homie, like 7 to 9:30. Well, I don't even know. So I'm doing poetry. I got a bunch of poems, man, and I'm doing a hip hop set just before the old school hip hop night, July 13th at the Crescent Ballroom in Phoenix. This is not the release party. We had to push that back because of scheduling issues, but it's called Myrlin, straight up no chaser, and it's gonna be super fun, man. Like I haven't done a show like this, I think, ever. So you get your tickets at Crescent Ballroom and be there, okay? I'm serious. All right. I appreciate y'all. And this is me talking with Alyssa Avila. Yeah.
All those stars still up in your eyes. Everybody looking for the loose end, trying to pick you for the weakness. My dear friend, ain't no secret, his heart is bleeding. Mucho gusto, me llamo Merlindo. I rock esta rima from all fucking people. Double tongue, shaman skill, I spill syllables.
Okay. What's up, everybody? Myrlin here. I believe this show is now called Myrlin's Audio Vault, which is better, I think. It's a rebrand from the word. Sometimes you just got to do shit, and, you got to jump and then grow your wings in the air. And for those of you who have been listening to episode 1 to whatever now this episode is, I'm sure you're like, what is going on over there? But today I'm here with Alyssa Avila, my very, very cool-ass homegirl, 3-point champion back in the day at North High School. But also, Alyssa's an entrepreneur, media and social media advertising specialist, and she's a motherfucking hustler. So if you don't know her, now you do. And we're going to talk. How you doing, Alyssa?
What's good?
What's
I had to
good?
add that in.
Yeah, that's your job. What you been up to? Probably closer to the mic.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. A freaking lot, actually. I'm just trying to grow this business, but honestly, I'm trying to do a vlog every day, and it's
A
really
vlog
freaking,
every day, yeah.
It's low key stressful. I'm trying to film right now. I'm just gonna do like a time lapse.
How long you been doing it for?
Like this will be the 7th day. Actually, I released my 7th vlog today.
Man, I have a hard time posting on Instagram 7 days a week.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt. But I watched this guy. His name is Cody Warner. He's like in Pennsylvania. And he has this movement called No Small Creator. And it's just like, there's no such thing as a small creator.
Okay.
So what's dope about that is I'm like, I don't really have that many subscribers. But if I'm just creating for myself, then that's probably where I should start.
Yeah, totally.
So like, he's like the main reason why I wanted to start it. Do I need to be closer to this mic?
No,
Do I need
you're
to be like
good.
on the mic? Okay.
No, you're good.
But yeah, so when I started it, I didn't know how it was gonna go, to be honest. And I'm like learning a lot of crap. Like I've edited a lot of videos, but
Right.
those are like
How long are your vlogs typically?
the longest one. It's probably an average of like 4 to 4 minutes. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be hard to cut it down to 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I want to go past like 7 minutes. I feel like
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
a lot.
good.
What's that noise?
Oh, it's your phone. It's saying it's not charging.
Oh, what the? God damn it. Something always goes wrong.
I was like, I feel like I've heard that noise before. I need to make sure my phone's off too.
Well, I thought it was a goddamn bomb threat. I'm just joking.
God, you're freaking at me.
Yeah, this is the thing. You'll notice the longer you listen to my content that like I'm highly encourageable if you laugh at me, and Alyssa is already like somebody who laughs at a lot of shit. Like you could get her going. So we spent a lot of time together. We went to Hawaii to do a little bit of a documentary when I was working with these kids. We've been to Colorado twice. Where else have we been? And then we went to
like
Page. We
like
went to Page.
Yeah.
So we've been working together for like a little over a year.
I think like a year, almost a year and a half, but like an intense year and a half.
Intensely, yeah. So
it's been crazy.
It's been a wild ride. When you went, when we really started working together, I was like, man, you need to quit your job.
I was deathly afraid, super afraid. I went to Colorado like thinking I was gonna get a supervisor position when I came back, and I was super like motivated to do that. Yeah, and they low key offered like at least to like apply to it because I had a really good chance of getting it. And instead of sending my like resume or like cover letter or whatever, I was like, so actually I'm gonna quit. And they're like, what the heck? So that was tough. That was tough because the year before that, I told my family I was dropping out of ASU. So I was dropping all kinds of bombs.
Right.
And so I was like super afraid of that.
Oh,
but
I remember that being a part of it.
Yeah, it was huge. That's what I was most afraid of.
Meanwhile, I was like, live for your dreams, Alyssa. Fuck all that shit.
No, it's like, it's funny, but that's really what happened.
Yeah,
we were sitting at this giant table at like 2:00 in the morning talking about how I should just go for it.
Oh, yeah. Was that in Colorado?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing, yo. Is like, it's not for everybody, this type of lifestyle that I guess we share, in the sense that we're like entrepreneurs. We work in media and art and stuff like that. But I mean, like, it's like what I said starting this podcast. It's like you got to jump and build your wings in the air. You know what I mean? How do you get good at swimming? By doing the thing, you know? So it's like, that doesn't mean be crazy and be like, all right, like, fuck my mortgage.
Yeah, so that was like the thing. So, I was already like, I mean, I feel like I've been hustling since I was a sophomore, maybe even in 8th grade, because my mom would not let me get a job. All she wanted me to do is play basketball.
Right.
Which now I'm grateful for. But at the time, I was like, I need money. Like,
right.
I have expensive taste in these shoes that I need to make some kind of money.
Right.
And she wouldn't let me get a job. So I was like, all right. So the first thing I ever sold was this little refrigerator. And this lady just came to my house and picked it up for like $80. And I was like, oh my God, I could really do this.
What?
And I was in 8th grade. So I got in trouble for having some random person come to my house to like buy something.
Right.
And like now my mom gets it. She's like, the hustle's worth it. But but at the time, obviously she was not happy about that. But yeah, I don't know. Ever since then, I've just tried to hustle. So I knew like I would be okay. But I worked at Costco, and Costco's a really good job, and like everybody, even now, they continue to say that. So they're like, why would you leave Costco? So
yeah.
I don't know.
It's one of the better places to work.
Yeah, I don't know. At the time, I was really worried about what people would say and think, and now I'm like...
Also, it's just really scary, man. You're going into a totally different dimension of survival. Yeah. You know, like even... So, like, you've been what? When did you last quit? When did you first quit? That was
March
like...
2017.
2017. So, you've been in over a year.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's... Well, it'll be like a year and a half pretty soon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a year and a half, and it's been crazy. I've done so much crap.
Tons, man, tons. I know. The other thing too is you are a straight up. You got that hustler gene. It's hilarious. Like
sometimes stressful.
Oh man, but you like used to flip baby Jordans.
I still flip baby Jordans. Hit me up if you want some baby Jordans.
Yo, you flip tickets. You were like me, like I'm just like, do I have enough money to make it? Okay. All right. Try not to spend more than you're supposed to.
Yeah, see, because I think that's one of my issues is I really don't know what budgeting is. All I know is like you can get another $100 some way.
Yeah. How are you gonna get it?
So like, yeah. So it's just a matter of... It's a freaking game to me at this point. As far as like, I just feel like, okay, how can I get $100? Like, I need to pay this bill.
Right.
It's like, but yeah, I've been really grateful though, because something always pops up. As far as like monetarily or job wise, like people are like, oh, I heard from so and so, can I work with you? And I'm like, all right, cool, because I was on my last dollar.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I'm super grateful to have the family that I do, because they're super supportive. Especially now, I think the first maybe maybe month, I think they were very afraid for me.
Right.
Because everybody in my family has only worked, like quote unquote a 9-to-5 job. Mm-hmm. So obviously that'd be scary for them, but they're totally supportive now, and they're like, I'm telling you, they're like, the hustle is worth it. Like they start quoting me.
That's funny.
But yeah, they're all super supportive. I haven't missed a family party since I freaking started this, unless I'm out of town. And I think that was a huge thing, because I'm so close to them. Right. I was missing like everything, because when you work at a retail job, you can't get the weekends off. It's really hard to, at least. So yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, and then you're completely constricted to that schedule of clock in, clock out. That's a big portion of your day. And every time I hit you up, I mean, first of all, I call you at any time of the day, just not in the early mornings. And usually you're awake. You're like, no, I'm at my cousin's house right now, or like, well, I'm at a coffee shop. I've been editing for like 2 hours. So it's like you're always at it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's funny, because as much as I think I'm at it, there are definitely times where I'm like, I need to do more.
Oh, like, me too.
Which I think everybody goes through that. But I think like,
well, then when you watch those Gary V videos, you're like, how the fuck does this person do this?
It's either extreme for me. Sometimes I'll watch his videos and I'm like, I gotta go, and then after that, or after I watch it, and then I'm like, maybe I do need a break.
Yeah.
Because he preaches like, literally, if you're happy doing what you're doing, then that's all you need to be doing.
Right.
So it's like he's not like, you need to do this. He's just like, here's some options. And but I don't know
but then at the same time, he's also like, I'm the fucking greatest, like he's trying to be all-time legendary. Seriously. And he really is like insane. Like he's like, I was in Philly yesterday, and I'm like, he doesn't sleep, and like it's it's like anything he puts his hands on, it like blows up. Yeah, which is dope. I mean, because he's built his name so well. Yeah, and he's really he's special. But he's not telling you be like me either, though. He's saying
no, and that's why he's like, I have friends who make $80,000 a year, and they're happy. Right. They might even be happier than the third person in Facebook. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's all about relative. Just literally, just whatever you're comfortable with and whatever you're happy with. I don't think I've ever been like, I'm super complacent with any situation I've been in. So I don't know. That comes from like, just not even. I know my dad's calling.
It's all good.
But yeah. So I don't know. So it was just interesting to go and like just literally try to jump and hope that I land on my feet, which I have, and I'm super grateful for. In the last 3 months though, I've definitely been like all about like my family. Like my great grandma she was really sick for a while, and I would spend a lot of time over there, and I feel like at the time I didn't even think about it, and and so like, obviously she passed away a few weeks ago, but now that I look back at it, it's just crazy, because if I had a 9-to-5 job, I would have never like got to do that. Right. And so it was a moment that I wouldn't trade any amount of money for. So obviously if I started at Costco, I wouldn't have been there at all, probably, because I live on the other side of town. But so I know she was super grateful for it. I was super grateful, because she taught me a lot, especially in the last 3 months. Right. That I don't think I would have ever learned, obviously, from anyone else, because she was 90 years old. So yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of experience. Yeah, it makes me feel really, 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 really young. You know?
Seriously. And like one of the last things she told me was like, she was just like, do what's best for you and like make yourself happy, and then she was like, take care of like that big heart of yours. Wow. Yeah, so it was trippy, and I feel like ever since then I started releasing the vlog. That's what I wanted to do, and she knew I wanted to make videos, and she knew like I even got her to say the hustle's worth it just to do it. Wow. Which is different, because she was born 90 years ago, so the times were completely different, and especially like a girl doing it too. Yeah. Like, that's what is like.
90 years ago, so it's 2018. That's 8. Let's do this math.
27, right? 1927.
1927 was when she was born.
I'm almost. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think you're right. It would take me forever to figure that out. That's embarrassing, but whatever. I have no shame.
Yeah, definitely.
1927, World War II had not even happened yet. In fact, 1927, World War II would have been more than 13 years away, right? Or almost 20 years away. Well, no, whatever. It was more than over a decade away, right? She was born more than a decade before World War II. So, or at least I think, yeah. So, yeah, for sure. And so she was born at the very 1937. 27. So she was born right in the Depression.
Yeah, that does make. I was like, I don't know if that sounds right, but yeah, 1927 is definitely 90 years.
Yeah, it was a hard economic time. So think about how much shit she saw.
Exactly. That's why it's crazy.
So how old are you? So you're in your...
I'm 23.
Yeah, you're very young. So when your grandmother was 23, one has to ask, what was there back then? Telephones?
I asked her, and she said, there's
definitely telephones.
There were lines though. You had
to call into the operator.
Yeah. That's what she was saying.
Yeah.
But she was like, and I asked her, I was like, what was your dream when you were my age? What was your dream?
Whoa.
And she was like, you didn't really have a dream. You knew that you were gonna either be a nurse, a teacher, or something like that. Right. Which are all good jobs, and I'm super grateful for all those jobs. But it's she's like, you really just didn't have any other options.
Right.
And she's like, and so that's why I think it's so crazy that you're taking trips to Hawaii for work, because that was unheard of, for a long time.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. My grandmother's up there. She's almost 92. She has so much stories, man. So much. She's still very sharp.
That's what was crazy until the very end. I mean, she could tell me anything that I wanted to know. Until literally until the last week, and she didn't feel like talking anymore. She was talking. Right. She would answer questions. She would know when things happen. She was really into pictures, which was super interesting to me because I like taking pictures, but she liked having pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So she had she was from a family of 10 kids, maybe more. So she just had every family's set of pictures. So it was just interesting. The whole time, it was just super interesting to get to know her even better than I even thought I did. And she watched me until I started school. So until about 5, she watched me every single day. So it was she was definitely there at the beginning of my life, and I was there at the end of her life. And it was the dynamic of that was really interesting.
Well, it's cool too, because what you're doing, while it is trendy, to be on social media or it's popular, entrepreneurship is in, right?
Yeah.
But one thing that's very interesting is that it's not for everybody. It really is not. You have to understand that when you lose, you fucking lose. It's your own business. If that shit doesn't work or you fail, you lose, So it takes a certain type of person. But I remember when we first started working together, because I've worked with a slew of talented film people, but they've had kids, or they're only kind of doing this part-time, or they maybe they have a job when they do this and work for PBS or something, so they're not available that much or whatever, right? And also, to be fair, I'm I have such huge ambitious vision on everything that I create artistically that it's hard for me to hand over the reins to someone, because I know that they're not going to be able to create what I would have created if I had their skills, or what, you know what I mean? Whatever. They're not going to be able to share my vision completely, let alone necessarily be as passionate about it. So that's one of the biggest learning processes I've had, is collaborating with visual artists or like media people. But when I first started working with you, one of the things was like, holy shit, this kid fucking gets it. Like, you would turn out work beforehand on a deadline. You're professional. You're easy to work with. And you're constantly learning and improving your craft and your knowledge base in all facets of your game. You know, so like I was like overwhelmingly happy that I wish I could find like 5 more of you.
So,
you know what I mean? Not no one's gonna be you, but I mean, people your age who want to become entrepreneurs or want to not work a day job, but also have the right work ethic. Because I've worked with kids your age. I've mentored or helped or given people opportunities. Maybe maybe it's just a foot in the door. It's not like you're gonna pay your rent on this shit or something like that. It's not a scholarship. It's just like, oh, here's something here, here's something there. In the same way that I've, tried to help you, and the way that we've worked together. Not to say that like you haven't helped me a fuckload, you know what I mean? But you've helped me with your work. But you know what I'm saying? So, but I've done that for other people, and they have totally not. I've worked with some people where I'm just trying to help this younger person get opportunities, and they just squander those opportunities because they might, I don't know, maybe it's because they're entitled or they want things to be handed to them. I don't really understand why people like kind of fall short, but I do know it was very early on that I could recognize, oh, you're like this. Oh, you're one of these ones. Like, you already get it.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about that is because I don't think I've ever had like even friends that are my age. Like, my friends have always been older, and even in high school. I hung out with a few people in high school, but it was mostly just a basketball team.
Right.
And I didn't do anything. I honestly didn't do any. I didn't do anything like crazy in high school. It's just because, a lot of it was probably because I was deathly afraid of my mom. So
oh shit,
I didn't, I wasn't gonna go out and do anything wild.
Right.
But also I was so involved in basketball up until I was 18. I really thought I was gonna go to the WNBA.
Well, did you get to you played with them?
Yeah, like I practiced with them, and there was a lot. Like I knew that that's what I wanted to do, and I don't know what happened when I turned 18, or not when I turned 18, but when I graduated high school.
Right.
I was like, I really want to make money. And I knew that the dynamics of a women basketball player was not the NBA money.
No, not even close.
No, and I would have to
Cheryl Swoops or Diana.
Yeah,
Taurasi.
Not even Diana Taurasi, the best player in the world. Doesn't he? I don't know how much she gets paid, but it's the last time I checked, it was like basically like $200,000 to $300,000 a year.
Right.
Which is that's good money.
Sure, but you got to be the best player in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's.
And that's like
no one sits the bench for the Clippers and makes $200,000 a year.
They're at least at $1 million. At least. So I don't know. So when I realized that, I was like, I don't know, like definitely that would be super cool, like to play basketball like that.
Yeah.
Just to do it. But I was like, I know that I want to own my own business, and I feel like that'll take years away from that experience of trying to own my own business. So I still didn't really have like a business under my name. It was just, I got to hustle. I want to hustle. I want to take pictures. I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah, but there's all these things that interest you.
Yeah.
And that didn't necessarily, you got a really good scholarship in school, right?
Yeah, I got
an academic scholarship, and you got a full ride basketball scholarship for another school.
Yeah, so like a D2 school, I got a full ride scholarship for basketball. And but it was in California, and when they had offered it to me, they were like, all you have to do is pay for housing. Like, you just have to figure out, like, to stay somewhere, because it was a smaller school. And so they're like, the housing here is just ridiculous as far as like on campus. So they're like, we won't cover it. And I was like, dang, like, first of all, I know I won't be able to get a job out there and play sports like that, because that's a job within itself. And my family doesn't have money like that, so I was like, that just doesn't seem like realistic.
Seems really fucking hard is what it seems like.
Yeah, and at the time, I was like, I need to see immediate like satisfaction from that, or else it's just almost not worth it to me. So I got a full ride scholarship to NAU and I got a full ride scholarship to ASU, and then I ended up going to ASU, and I freaking hated it. I hated every second of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I wasn't the kind of person who wanted to get super involved in these clubs and like
sororities and
yeah, it just wasn't.
And
it honestly, like, I've never, still to this day, I don't even like to party like that.
No, you don't.
Like at all. Like I don't think I ever have. So it's like that was never an interest. Yeah, like I'm trying to think of when I did move out the first time. I feel like that's the most, from like 19 to 20 maybe. I was like, oh, this is cool. But it's because I was living on my own, so I was like,
no rules.
Yeah,
no parents. Yeah. I can stay up till 3 a.m.
And
yeah, or whatever. I don't know.
The
Why is Tomas FaceTiming me? Should I answer it?
Yeah, because that's pretty funny.
We both know Tomas. Bro, why are you FaceTiming me? I'm podcasting with Alyssa.
What's good?
And who FaceTimes? Oh, Jesus. Oh.
I can't get no sound out of my headphones.
Oh, bro. You know what they got this thing, though, that might help you with?
What the fuck?
They got, first of all, you're using GarageBand there?
No, it's Ableton.
Oh. Well, they got this thing called, the internet, bro. I think you should try that one. Or... Oh my God! I'm not about to pause. Oh Jesus! My guests are gonna be pissed off. They're sitting and trying to do their laundry, ordering groceries online. Alyssa was telling me this moving story about how she saved a baby eagle, an eaglet, and nursed it back to health. Okay, show me what you got.
So I got.
Oh, you got to look up your in and out points. Yeah, look up how those things work, because I'm not a master at that.
Tomas, there might be a thing called preferences, or like
Oh yeah. Okay, this is what you got to do. Hit control, comma. Hold down, comma. Yep, preferences is where you got to go. I'm really sorry, my guests. If Tomas wasn't family, I wouldn't do this. Okay, did you hit control comma?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, see where it says your
so
audio out?
Yeah.
That needs to be that's where your audio is going out. So your audio output has to be your headphones or your headphone jack or whatever it is.
It's going through my audio out is going through my Scarlett.
Yeah, man. Well, plug your headphones into your Scarlett. Good luck, bro. I gotta go. He just said peace. He didn't even say peace. He has no regard for what we're trying to do. He's just mad that he's not here.
I freaking love that guy.
Yeah, me too. I'm fucking around. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
We're on a roll. Someone listening right now is like, you motherfuckers, you were.
I know.
First of all, if you're listening to this and that's how you talk, you motherfuckers, that's crazy.
That's already hilarious.
You were on a roll with, we're talking about college, basketball, ASU. You hated it. School,
that's where we were at.
You didn't really like to party.
I hated it.
And then moved out. Your parents no rules. I made a lame joke about like I can stay up till 3 a.m. or whatever.
And then the phone started ringing. That's exactly where I'm glad we got back on topic.
Look at my recap. All
I
right.
like it. So mid podcast recap.
So what? How? So update me. You know what I mean? Like, so I was there, and I was like, granted, I wasn't like, yo, jump off the ledge, like ain't no consequences. But I was like, look, from experience. When your back is against the wall, you know, when you have to make moves because otherwise you don't eat and you have that type of pressure on you, it forces you to become really innovative. You know, so I was like, yeah, it's really hard to see like, all right, well, I can pay my rent for a month But like, what about month 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 or whatever? So it's like, it's very scary, but it's also kind of like, well, when you have a moment there's going to be a moment where you have a chance to leap, and you should just do it. Because
are you talking about when I moved out, or are you talking?
No, I'm talking about when you. Thank you for asking that, because people are like, what? I'm talking about when you made that leap into the world of being an independent, contractor, an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that, like, I remember talking to you about it, because I was like, I've done this, and like, trust me, like, you have like all the internal skills, like you have the hustle. Like, I've seen people do it. Like, I knew some kids who went in on a studio together, or like this one kid that I knew or whatever, and they just didn't have the hustle it took to really they were very creative, but they didn't have the hustle, to be an entrepreneur like that. So I just remember talking to you about that at the time, and then you finally taking that leap. So kind of give the audience a rundown of like how you feel now, how you felt then, what is the psychological toll of, and what was hardest, and what do you struggle with now? Like, just kind of give me some of the journey.
So in the beginning, I was definitely afraid. I was super afraid, and I knew that it could work, but I didn't know for sure if it would work. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't think I should do this. And I don't know, after talking to you and then being like literally on the road like that, and realizing there's more out here. It's not just Costco. Like,
right.
There's definitely more to do. I first talked it over with my mom, and then I messaged my cousin, because I talked to her for everything. Like, everything that I'm about to do in my life, I'm like, yo, I'm about to do this. Should I do it? And she keeps me really grounded. She definitely has a different perspective, just because she's not my mom. So she's, her advice is different than my mom's. And my mom, mostly, obviously, she just wants to see me happy and see me doing well. But my cousin's is like really real. Like, even if I don't want to hear it, she's going to tell me it. Right. And I think that having people like that in your life is important. So I think that along this journey, that has helped me a lot, because there's been a lot of times where I'm like, I don't know if I could do this.
Right. She's
like, you could definitely do this. Like, freaking suck it up. Like, so, and then it's like, yeah, you're right, I can do it. And a lot of times it's just a moment of weakness, especially like, like when you're like by yourself, that's when it's like the worst. Mm-hmm. I'm really good at being by myself and being alone and feeling like that's where I'm happiest sometimes. Right. But there's definitely some moments where I'm like, it's not, maybe I just feel like this because I am alone. Like, at this exact time, like, nobody's in the house. But if I had a house full of people, I'd be like, I'm living my best life. So I think it's just like the dynamics. I think it's just, and I think everybody goes through that. But I feel like being an entrepreneur specifically, like, I just in the last couple of days, I'm like, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm not like any type of director. I'm not even a social media, like, that's like, I feel like I'm just an entrepreneur. Like, and that took a lot for me to like come to the conclusion of, because obviously somebody wants to be the master of something.
Right.
And I don't think I'm the master of those things. I'm very good with like finding solutions for people's problems. And when it comes to marketing, it changes all the time. So I'm like, if I could help these businesses grow, I can help put more money on the food or on the table, more money in their pockets, so that they can like put food on the table for their family. So I think that was super important for me to like figure out how
many businesses do you work with, or typically?
Constantly? Like right now, I have like 3 businesses that I work with every single month. Like every.
And what do you do for these businesses?
So the biggest, I mean, obviously, I go in there. I offer every business a free audit, and that kind of gives me an idea of what I think they need. And then when I get the meeting with them, then they tell me what they think they need, and we go back and forth. So a lot of for every business, it's completely different. I work with the chiropractor, to be specific.
So let me before you get into the chiropractor really quick.
Yeah.
All right, I ran a business. I'm just doing this shit.
Okay.
I ran a business in 1983. Why the fuck should I listen to a 23-year-old kid that is consulting why should my business is shit. We supply trail mix. Shit.
Oh my god.
No, fuck it. I run a restaurant. We sell tacos in Chandler.
All right.
And
Okay,
I'm
so
from 1986.
My biggest thing going into it, I only want to work with business owners who want their business to grow. Usually that's every business, but in the smartest way. So the idea is if he hires a marketing guy who's in their 50s, he's not going to know what I know on social media because that's my entire life. I grew up on it. Right. So it's like they only know what they have learned in the last couple of years as far as like, I'm sure there's a lot of people, you know, who know a lot about social media, but I'm constantly on it. Like, and another thing is I don't have a family, like kids, and you know, like, so it's just like all my time is spent on their business, and trying to grow their business. So my ideas are new every single week that I come to them with a new thing. For that specifically, it's like if you have good content, you can have a good social media strategy no matter what. And so the good thing about what I do is I can actually create the content for them, which a lot of people don't do. Like they outsource it.
What do you mean by outsourcing it? So my restaurant from 1986.
Yeah, so the restaurant from 1986, they have a photographer come in once a year. And they take new pictures, update the pictures as needed. But that's not a direct connection to that photographer or that videographer.
Right.
All it is like, hey.
It's not personalized.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So that person's that's just a job to them.
And you must be. So you have 4 clients.
Like three to 4 that actually like that I'm very, very involved with.
Right. And did I hear something?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that was weird. Thought I heard something weird. Okay. So, shit. I lost my point. Okay, my point is that. So what you do is when you give these businesses an audit, you see what you see.
I create the audit as the perspective of somebody who knows nothing about them.
Okay.
So the idea is that anybody's going, like, for example, if a website is terrible, I put that in the audit. Not necessarily say it's terrible, but I'm like, these are how you can fix it. So that I'm adding value to them up front, freaking Gary Vee again, but adding value enough that they're like, I didn't pay you a single cent and you gave me a ton of value in that audit. So even if we don't do business, I still technically taught them something. Right. And I gave them something that they can take whether they hire me or not. But the idea is at least my percentage of getting like meetings with people, I've been able to close like every person I've met with in some kind of way, even if that's just to do the photography.
Right.
So like people I like have a good way of connecting, I think, with people. Doesn't matter if like, you know, you're 85 or like 15. So I just think like I just basically try to connect with people because I feel like and I learned this from selling memberships at Costco, honestly, is like if you can't connect with someone, they won't trust you. And if they don't trust you, they're not going to do business with you. At least not long-term business.
Right.
Because
that's so true.
Yeah, because I mean the idea that is that a business, and you know this too, like a business, same thing with your content. If it's not exactly what you want it to be, you're like, I can't do it because that's like your child, like your baby. So for these business owners, the business is like their baby, and if I go in there with that mindset, like I got to take care of this business like it's their baby, they're gonna appreciate that and be like more open to be like, you know, here I now have a budget. I didn't have a budget yesterday, but after talking to you, I now have a budget.
Totally.
And my thing is, I don't sell to the unsellable.
Yeah,
at all.
That makes a lot of sense.
And I've dealt with a lot of businesses where I call them and they're like nothing in them is gonna budge, like in their mindset. They do not think they need marketing, and that's fine. They're just not. I just feel like I'm gonna move on because there's a million businesses out there.
Totally.
So if I even get, you know, the idea though is that since I have a chiropractor, I probably won't take on another chiropractor. Especially in Central Phoenix.
That makes sense.
So I work with this personal trainer, and I probably won't work with another personal trainer, at least within like a 10-mile radius. Totally. Because it's just a conflict of interest. I want to get as many clients for that trainer as possible, and I can't be like pulling these people one way or the other. Like my own ads would compete with each other, and that's just a bad look. I'm trying to grow their business.
Yeah, at least where you're at right now.
Yeah, totally. Like if I had like, and if I had more people on my team, like consistently, I think that would be different too, because I can actually like give the work to that person and like not worry about, because if I gave another person the same work, our ideas would be completely different again. So it's like the way we make ads, the way we go about marketing in general.
So what's the big dream here? We're 1 year and 3 to 4 months into the game.
Yeah.
Like completely, yeah, you also hustle. So you also flip shit on OfferUp, or you will, come do a video shoot for me, or you do excellent photos for couples and families. And, you do a lot of things to like just to continue keeping the workflow heavy.
Yeah.
In addition to working for these 4 businesses on a monthly basis, and then acquiring new business. And what would be do you not really know? Or would it be like, I want to own my own marketing firm?
I would want to do that, but that wouldn't be the only thing I want to own. So I think it's like, I want to get it to a point where that's a name for itself. Like the Social Beast, like, cause that's what the name of it is.
Right.
But I want that to be like its own thing. Like I want to grow that to where it's like, that's like the marketing. Those are the marketing people you go to.
Right.
If you want marketing, whether or not, I'm just literally sitting there doing the work myself, or if somebody else is doing it, I just want it to be like its own thing so that I can leverage away from it. Like, and totally. Honestly, I'm working super hard on building my personal brand. That's why I'm making the vlogs.
Right.
Because people like they tend to like me as a person. Just if I usually, at least, there's definitely people who hate me, I'm sure.
I fucking do.
Yeah, exactly. But for the most part, I mean, I work with this business or this restaurant called Deluxe, and going into it, I was like, I don't know how this dynamic's gonna work, because the owner was like, our age difference was completely different. He's been in the restaurant business for like 40 plus years.
Wow.
So he's like a pioneer in this restaurant business, especially in Phoenix. Mm-hmm. Like, the Five and Diner? He like started that. Like that was one of his first things when he was like young. So it's like, he's totally been around. And I was like, I don't know how, like maybe he's gonna feel like we won't relate and like, whatever. And so when I met with him, he was like super insightful. And I've learned so much from working with this guy.
Wow.
Because he's like, when he has other people who are looking for somebody like me, as far as like marketing goes, he has no problem with telling them about me. And he's just like super, like I've just learned a ton of stuff from him just from being within the business, of working with him. And so it's just interesting because their whole team over there, I would have never guessed that I would get along with them as well as I do, and have it be like, have their business continue to be as successful as it continues to be based off of stuff that I create.
Right. And
a lot of times it's just like, they're just ideas I randomly have, and we've gotten to a point where I can just post whatever I want to, and I don't have to run it by them. Okay. Because that's like kind of how the relationship is. So you just
run copy for a lot of advertisements for this restaurant. Like you might
so just creative stuff. Like, because their goal right now, they definitely have the 40 and up in the bag. Like that demographic, they're killing it.
Okay.
But it's like my age that they don't know how they can connect to, because it's like it's right on 32nd Street in Camelback. So that's like an upscale area.
Right.
Especially in Phoenix. So it's like their prices aren't, it's like an upscale place. So it's like, but they want to have that, but their vibe when you get in there, it's like, oh, this is a cool place to hang out. But it's like, people my age like sports bars, and like, it's just trying to get those people to convert into customers who actually enjoy their food, and not just like, hey, we have a deal on vodka today.
Right. So
the vibe of it is totally like really dope, but a lot of people, especially my age, like they just don't even know that exists. So like honestly, that's why they originally hired me, is to completely get people in there. And now I have people like hashtagging Deluxe, and they're like posting on Snapchat that they're on at Deluxe. So it's like I've totally helped them in that way.
They didn't have any hashtags before.
Yeah, they were like, they
weren't getting that demographic, or
because it to them, they were doing fine, but the thing is like when people are older, especially when they live in Phoenix, sometimes they go away for the entire summer.
Oh, that's totally
because they
true.
have the money for it,
Right.
But people
especially
my age,
in that area of town.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing to do. You know, you leave and you go to a place that feels good outside when you in the summer.
That won't assault your face.
Yeah, seriously. So like that's been the main goal for them. But even like doing stuff like this, like when I had reached out to you, you were like one of the first people well, the point is I'd never shot a concert before.
Okay.
And I was like, I really want to shoot a concert, but there's going to be nobody who's going to let me shoot a concert. Because at that point, like my networking skills were not dope. Right. I was just like editing stuff in my room. I wasn't even putting stuff out. That's the weird thing.
Right.
And then I had messaged you and I was like, can I please take pictures at your concert? And then you were like, yeah, for sure. And I was like, for real? And so I was like, I was surprised you said yeah, because I knew that you like at least had somebody filming it. Right. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. Like I was like, all right, I didn't expect you to say yeah. And then I was like, I'm not going to ask him a million questions because that's going to be annoying as far as like, what can I shoot? What can I not shoot? Or like, can I use the flash when I shoot? Like, I didn't want to ask you a million questions because I would have been like.
I wonder which concert that was.
It was the Eulogy in Blue.
Oh, that was the last really big one I did.
Yeah, it was.
You know, I'm not
that
doing
one.
a release party this summer.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that on Instagram. They
changed my date. I had a date held.
For what?
I had the 14th held so I could do like a whole night.
Wait, where though?
At Crescent.
Wow.
And they changed. Then I reached back out to him. I had this booked for like a month. You know what I'm
really?
saying? Yeah. I booked this back in May.
Did you have to put any money down?
No, but I was like, hey, how much time do I have or whatever? I'm kind of relieved. Those things are so much work. But I'm going to have a show the 13th in at Crescent, but it's like it's going to be like from 7 to 9:30 or like more like 7:30 to 9:30. So I'll just do
That's not bad though.
Yeah, I'll just do a bunch of poems and like spoken word theater and like the jokes and shit, and then I'll do a concert.
No, I think that's dope actually.
And it's right before the old school hip hop night. So I'll get some like walk-ups for the concert part. Yeah, so.
No, that's totally cool. I think that's dope.
Yeah, it is. I think it works out, you know, but like
I think sometimes the parties are stressful. Or not the parties, but like the release parties.
They're hard.
You know?
Yeah, they are. It's a lot of work.
It's like a whole production.
Yeah, and the thing is like in the last two that I've done, I chose bad days. You know what I mean?
I remember
we
you
tried
saying
to do that one at. It was cool, but like it was also like
Live?
Final Four was going on in Phoenix.
It was definitely Final Four.
And no one was doing anything but getting drunk at like 12 and watching the Final Four and going to all the free shit downtown. So it was just like I couldn't compete, you know. We got 100 people in the building, but still, you know, like.
Yeah, I think when it comes to those things, it's like how can you give yourself the best chance? So it's
Seriously.
I think it's just like, you know, a game at that point as far as like hopefully these people can come, but a lot of times people are like, yeah, I'm gonna come, and they don't show up. Sometimes people even buy tickets and don't show up.
Yes.
So I don't
like,
get that either, but
yeah, it's interesting, you know, since we've been, and just to like just so the audience knows, like you're one of my like closest friends, you know what I mean? Like we talk a lot
time.
Like, you know what I mean? Like we joke all the time. We can take it on a personal level or a business level, but since I've been hanging out with you, I've learned so much more about what I can do as in the world of social media. You know, for so long, I was just like, I hate that I have to do this for my job.
Yeah.
Which is a stupid fucking attitude. Because it's like, okay, you're going to put some negative energy on something you don't like to do because it's part of the work. If you want to, you know what I mean? Like, so, but part of it was because I didn't really... I guess self-promotion just doesn't come natural to me. I feel weird taking a bunch of selfies. You know, I wasn't 12 or 15 when people were on Facebook and you know, so it's just not that natural to me, but whatever. Anyway, since I've
time I heard a noise.
Yeah, Reggie's they're probably.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
So my roommates are probably home, but I got 5 of them. I live with Dylan, Drabel, Dawson, Derek, and Dimitri.
That's so dumb. Those are very intense names, but I like
man,
it.
They all live in one room together. You don't know my life, podcast listeners. Okay, where was I at?
No, you were just saying that you like self-promotion.
Oh yeah, so I've learned so much stuff, and like I just really appreciate you too, because like you know, you got to try shit. It takes risk, and
You know, like the first Kickstarter, we had to revamp it. Like, I feel like I've put out more content this year than I've ever put out in my life. You know, a new album, but all the Instagram videos, the music videos. And it's just been a really great experience because I learned so much from you because you're learning all the time.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
Sometimes I'm annoying, high key. As far as like, I'm like, I need to learn how to do this today.
That's not annoying.
But
that's inspiring.
It's literally the last 2 hours before I go to sleep. That's all I do is watch YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like, legit. I put myself on a time limit because I can be up like the entire time. But like, that's what's super dope about it.
Man.
Yeah, that's why it's fine when you call at random times or I call you at random times because usually we're just working.
Totally.
So I think the dynamic between us is that's what's cool. And then like we're super understanding of each other.
What do you remember? I remember meeting you once briefly, and all I knew is you knew Tomas. Mm-hmm. For the listeners who don't know who Tomas is, I've had him on the podcast before. I don't know if that you'll hear that. Whatever, he'll be featured. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that episode because I fucked up the audio on it, or you might hear it. I don't know. We're recording this now in June, so. But Tomas and I have worked together and have a relationship as a poet. If that's him again, I'm gonna be like, no. Oh, it's Rhett. It's my roommate. It's Demetrius. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hello. Oh, you locked the door.
Oh.
Because you from the hood, so you triple lock.
Triple.
All right. Just cut this part out.
Oh, freaking dead. That's the nice thing about doing this podcast at your house, though.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's chill. I need to get a better chair for my guests, though. That chair you're sitting in is kind of trash.
It's fine. I feel
like
I'm at a kickback.
Yeah. But no, I remember meeting you because Tomas, and he was like, yo, she's really good at basketball. I was like, that's what's up, you know? And that's all I remember. But is that the only time that you remember meeting me, or did I come to one of your classes?
You came to a class, but it was with Tomas, and you they wanted me to join like the poetry club, and I was like, nah. Like, it's not my thing. I could write, like I'll write, but I'm not gonna perform it like that. Especially at that time, there was no way. But I remember wanting to be in the class anyways because Tomas was gonna be there, and he had told me before. I knew Tomas from the Boys and Girls Club, so he was like, hey, I'm coming to your school, like, and I didn't see him for a few months, and I was like, oh, dope, like I'm gonna be in there no matter what. And then you guys rolled through, and he introduced me to you, and that's when I met you. And at the time, especially when you're like in high school, anybody who goes to the school is like super dope. Like you're like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you have similar interests. So he was like, oh, Myrlin likes basketball too, and obviously, you know, Tomas was like I thought highly of his opinions and like, you know, whatever. So I was like, oh, dope. And then I saw you perform, and I was like, this guy's pretty sick. And then I started following you on Instagram, and I was like, all right, this is cool because you totally obviously were doing your thing. Like it was with no real intention of stopping. At least that's not what it looked like.
Wow. Well, when did you? Wow, that must have been.
So I was 18.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a senior.
Yeah. Cause so I was definitely 18. And
Shout out North High School.
Yeah, and then seriously.
Mustangs. I was just there not too long ago.
Because from 18 to 21, I was hustling. I was like working like aggressively. I was working, going to school. I worked 3 jobs and was going to school and lived on my own.
So what do I need to do with my business?
Just create more content.
Yeah.
Like constantly.
I know.
A ton more self videos. Like the Instagram stories are dope. But even if you just throw the camera on and make a video a day and just post it.
Right, I do.
Because you have the audience that likes when you engage with them.
Right.
Like
when I was doing that Kickstarter shit,
Dude, I was getting like almost 1,000 people viewing my
exactly.
Instagram a month.
And that's the same kind of content. So content, like as far as like
people all the time, I post all the time.
Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like what I tell people, especially like when they're first like doing stuff, and I need to start taking my own advice too. I find that it's the hardest to market myself. Like it's crazy.
It's hard. Yeah,
because I'm so focused on these other businesses that I work with, that I'm like, oh, this would be really cool for them, and I'm like, oh dang, I should probably do that for myself, but I never do. So I'm like, that's why with this vlog, I'm like, this is probably the easiest way for me, even though it's like I stay up till 3 a.m. editing these vlogs because my days are already long.
Right.
And then I had another 2 hours to edit this.
Yeah, that's fucking real.
So, I don't know. So it's pretty freaking crazy. But I don't know. For you, I would just say like literally more videos, like more selfies, more selfie shots. Because people, every time Myrlin posts a picture of himself, I swear that's the one that sells.
Dude, seriously, the last time I did
So I need businesses to hit you up for promos, because you just, like, seriously, Myrlin gets all the likes when he posts a selfie of himself. It's freaking hilarious.
A selfie or just a picture of myself?
A picture. Either way, whether it's a selfie or a picture of yourself.
I just have a hard time taking selfies. I feel ridiculous.
I think it's freaking hilarious.
I feel like a teenager with duck lips. I'm like, you're doing it all wrong.
It's one of those things, though, that if it's working, you just got to keep going.
I know. You're right. You're right.
Same thing with the business owners. I'm like, I know that it's really awkward for me to come in once a month and take these videos of you, but like, it's totally going to help. And with the chiropractor, he's seen like amazing growth just from the videos alone. So it's like,
this is the last picture.
Yeah,
of my
I'm
face.
telling you.
But that was like, you took it. It's a really nice picture.
But people just, I'm telling you, I don't
Selfie,
know.
Though?
They like
this one with Bella.
Yeah, the one with Bella.
That was classic.
The Bella did numbers.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm vibing with the kids.
In fact, I don't have a selfie. I don't have one selfie.
But, like, you know what I mean? Like, a picture, if it's a picture with just your face, people like it.
I know, but I never take I guess I'm too embarrassed to take selfies that.
Because I really like Instagram stories for what they are.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is when somebody has never seen you and they stumble upon your page and they see, like, a real life picture of you, like, you're just chilling. Like, you're like, I'm out here living life. Here's a selfie. Like, you know, it just looks more organic. And I feel like the more organic you can get, like any business, not just yours, but any business, even if it's a personal business, like people like that because people can relate to other people's stories.
So how are people, let me look at some of these stories. How are people, first of all, I don't know how to do surveys. Why the fuck you laughing at me, man? Okay, that's my story. Let me look at some people's stories. I only follow porn stars. I'm just joking. No, I don't think I follow any. I hope not. That would not be on purpose. I don't even watch that shit.
Instagram porn, that's a whole different topic.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. So is Twitter porn.
I can see how the Snapchat porn. Oh, Twitter.
Like, honestly, this is so off topic, but Instagram, like, there's some girls that are like, hey, it's $15 a month for my premium Instagram account. And it's straight up like they're like, wow, it's for real porn, but they really make money off of this.
I'm sure, man. Sex will always sell.
But it's yeah, so that's for life. So yeah, that's why that Instagram comment is freaking hilarious.
I'm trying to sell my hairy chest around the world.
Oh my god!
All right, so check this out. This person's stories are like, first of all, that's the other thing. It's like I don't even understand how people post as much as they do, and they don't. I respect it.
Honestly, I post so many stories lately, but it's
I don't even know how to click on it and then click the sound off.
So, this is actually hilarious.
Someone's gonna post on Instagram.
It's a side button to like turn
sound off.
Yeah.
No, I mean on the stories.
Yeah, that's how. If your sound is like you know how you put it on like
what's this?
Ringer or yeah.
Okay, so look at that. That's just a screenshot? What's that?
Yeah, that's a screenshot.
What's that blue shit in the background over there?
It could just be the screenshot they took it from.
Okay. All right.
So.
All right, that's easy. I can do that.
I mean, honestly.
These are just screenshots.
Yeah. The thing is, they don't care. I honestly believe that people don't care exactly like what it is, whether it's a screenshot or a word, as long as it's the person they like to follow.
Right. And so I guess what about the ones where it's like this? Okay, I think I figured it out. I've been seeing them, but it was the ones where they. But also, there's like GIFs and shit on there now.
Yeah, see, I use those a lot, and they like the engagement gets even higher because they're freaking hilarious.
Let's look at your.
You know what's funny is I don't think I posted anything today.
What?
I mean, I'm sure there's stuff up there, but not because I posted it today.
Go follow Alyssa Avila at Alyssa Avila.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
the handle. ALSSAAVILLA. Hey, you got almost 2,000 followers.
Yeah,
that's pretty popping.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that. So that's just it's just a screenshot.
So what I do?
So when people do like screenshot after screenshot after screenshot, they're just taking screenshots of their screenshots, or they're saving them and then posting them in succession.
Yeah. But honestly, if you like what I like to do, I don't like to just post a screenshot. I like to say something about this post.
Right.
So like what I did on there is I literally posted a Kanye West tweet and I was like, really though, Kanye? Like,
right.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then it's just like some kind of context from the person that they're following.
What did you agree with? Was it the part that Kanye hates women? I'm just joking.
I hate him. No, it's like about basically not knowing how to say no.
What do you do with motherfucking people who just come for the hashtags? And what do you do about people that just like 20 of your pictures and they're like, great music? And really it's like, they're just fucking commenting on 150 fucking things a day.
Honestly, I see it like this. It looks better for engagement, like algorithm wise. So if you get like spammed with that, that's totally fine, because to the algorithm it looks like, oh, this person's getting a ton of love from whoever.
Like I get rappers that'll be like, fuck with me though.
Yeah, and I'm exactly. Like, and so like your own content, maybe it's not like, maybe that's, obviously like that's annoying because you have to like go feed through the spam pretty much. But for the algorithm, it's good. So it's to your advantage at the end of the day when people comment. It doesn't matter what they're commenting. Right. Because it's still a comment from a different person. Right. So, I don't know. And then I'm
from a totally different person that changes the algorithm?
Yeah, because that person maybe has never seen your content before, or...
So, we're recording this podcast. Mm-hmm. How do I post to my story what I'm listening to, or I don't know what I'm asking. I got to figure out how to do podcast snippets.
Well, what you could do is, this is like, okay, this, you know how you can get like technically stock footage or like stock video, but not, it's free, but it's like the little sound waves.
Yeah, I don't know where to get that, but yeah.
Just do like a video of the sound wave. It doesn't even have to be our sound wave. Right. And then us talking. That's it.
But how do you, so I just put
you're going to export it on Premiere. You're going to edit it on Premiere and then just throw it on, but you can use that for anything.
Oh, okay.
So all you're doing is syncing.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah. That's how I do it for every video.
Okay, but there's no way to like, okay.
There's probably ways on the phone. It's just, I honestly think Premiere is just easier.
Okay.
Because that's a more organic way. There's this page that I follow, and he does a good job of doing that because he has a podcast too. Right. And I think it's like HDF Magazine, but he does that thing where it's like he'll do a different color sound wave, and then it'll be like his logo on top, and then the name of the podcast. Okay. So like, I don't know, but that looks like it's actually from the podcast. Right. Because when you just post audio and it's like a video of your computer, maybe people are like, I don't know. Because a lot of times, honestly, people are just literally scrolling through like stories. Some people are like super fans and will look at every detail, of the story. Yeah. But a lot of times people are just
skipping through.
Yeah, they're just rolling through. They see it, obviously.
Right.
But if they just see a picture of, they see a video of your computer, they're not going to know. That's why I do a lot of like captions on my stories. Like if I'm ranting on a video, I put like what it's basically about. And you do a good job of that too.
Oh, okay.
Because like I said, people are scrolling through. So if you're like,
Yeah, I see that works. Yeah. You know what I mean? You do a little headline and they're like, wait.
Yeah, exactly. And then they'll go back.
What about
and be
the
like,
Muppets?
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously, people, like, the reality is people are so involved in their own life that they just, sometimes they just don't have time to be.
Yeah, totally, man. Everybody's projecting a ton of shit onto the internet at all hours and speeds. There's people that I respect their hustle, but like all they're doing is just posting to social media like insanely because it's like their social diary. You know what I mean? Which totally. I get it. You know what I mean? If my only means of expression was Instagram, I'd be fucking nuts at it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I couldn't make beats, I couldn't make music, I couldn't write poetry, I couldn't perform shows or work with kids. Like all I had was like probably like a 9 to 5 and then Instagram. I would be fucking killing it on Instagram.
Yeah, I think so too.
But it's hard to balance because like
it's super hard, especially when you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Like that's my whole thing. Like I'm like, dang, how do I capture all these?
Never used Twitter.
And this I use Twitter because you can be spammy on there and it's acceptable.
Oh.
But I also just look at Twitter because that has all the news. Like that is like real life, real time. Like I remember when this was a while ago when LeBron decided he was gonna go to Miami. Like I found that on Twitter, not even ESPN or like that's how quick they are because it's real life, real time.
So it breaks there for the world first.
Yeah, it's like, and there's so many people on there that it's like crazy. So I wouldn't use Twitter necessarily to grow your business.
Right.
But if you want to know about stuff, then go on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I like to just be in the know of like music stuff and like and I really am into pop culture only because a lot of times these like Instagram famous people, they do things and I'm like, dang, that's sick. I need to do that like for a business that I have. Right. Or that I work with,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's where culture's at anyways. Yeah. You can be like, yeah, fuck the Kardashians, but it's like, okay, that's how you feel about them. It. But people like, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, there's still a thing, like they're influencing a lot of people. Like, it's still a thing in culture. Mm-hmm. You can like it or not like it or whatever. Like, or not have an opinion, which is often kind of what I have, is I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's a phenomenon. I don't know how I feel about it. Because I don't really know the true impact sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's probably not good that all these women are emulating Kim Kardashian, but I don't really know much about Kim Kardashian, so I can't really, like, speak on it. So I guess the argument with her is that she's famous for nothing, but it's like she's not the only one. So
no, there's a ton of people. One, and then two, like she actually capitalized on the fact that she really did not do anything, and now she actually is doing something. So I'm like, I gotta respect the hustle, though.
Okay, that's interesting. All right, well, we gotta wrap this up. So let me ask you. I know, because you got to go somewhere because you're so fucking busy all the time. Meanwhile, I'm going to go sit on my couch. No, I'm just joking.
No, honestly, I'll tell you exactly what I did for 2 seconds. So my mom told me she's super stressed out, like, because she got a new promotion, but it's like a lot. It's a sales job, so it's like aggressive. Okay. And so I was like, I'm going to do something nice for her because she's like, she's my mom. So I got her this hotel room for like a staycation. And so now I'm going to go drop her off at the hotel so she can just chill.
Because you got that deal. Because you're always looking at those deals.
Yeah.
Because you're always fucking scrolling the motherfucking.
No, seriously. So.
Hey, I'm going to a show on this Sunday.
What show is it?
It's Anna Tijoux. She's like Spanish, or she's from Chile.
Where is it at,
She's
though?
a rapper at Crescent Ballroom.
Oh, okay.
$25 for a ticket.
Shout out to Crescent.
But she's dope. Anyways, in case you want to go, tell your friends. Okay. Let me ask some random questions.
All right.
Here's a hypothetical.
Okay, hit me with it.
If you had to be in a cage with one poisonous snake, well, not a cage, like an enclosed room.
Okay.
One poisonous snake or a bobcat, and all you got is a hammer. Where you going?
Definitely going with the snake.
Definitely going with the snake?
I have hands like a ninja. I know I'd be able to kill it eventually.
Okay.
If I just keep stomping it with the hammer?
Yeah.
But a bobcat?
It's going to fuck you up. Yeah,
there's no way.
Okay. Let me think of another one.
That's instant death for me. First of all, that hypothetical is, I don't even know how your mind got there.
Yo, man.
But that's hilarious.
You're in the vault. Okay.
you earn $20,000 because you land a new deal with this business right now at this moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to add on another business. You got to work as much as you have to work, right? Mm-hmm. In the same amount, you're adding a fifth business. Mm-hmm. But it's a $20,000 contract for 2 years. Uh-huh. No.
I was going to say, I don't know if that's worth it. I mean, it's worth it, but...
$20,000 contract for 6 months, 4 months. Mm-hmm. Just say it's a pretty fat check. What are you doing? What is your next 4 moves?
That's a good question. First, I would cop a 5D Mark IV.
Okay.
Because that's... Actually, no, I take that back. I would cop a 1DX Mark II.
And she's talking about helicopters, people.
No, yeah. Because that camera is like a freaking monster. Like, I would be able to do anything. Any kind of production I want to do.
And how much money is that?
Like $6,000.
Okay. So you got...
And that's honestly the only piece of gear that I would, like...
You
that I would change, yeah. Because,
and then maybe a couple tiny things?
Honestly, I would keep everything the same, but I would, a couple small things.
Would you hire staff or assistants? Or like
I would definitely hire an assistant.
You'd hire an assistant for those 4 months?
No, just in general. Because honestly, all I need is like a little bit of an advance for myself. If I had like some kind of advance, I know I'd be able to really do like a lot of the different things. Because like long term, if I had the help that I think I need this second, that 20,000 will be multiplied over and over and over again. So an upfront cost, I'm totally fine with putting it back into the business and being like high key broke for a second.
Right. Okay.
And then, moving on.
Now, why wouldn't you get a yacht, a couple days on a yacht and some strippers? Because I think you're going to piss off my viewership by not going with the yacht. No, I'm just joking.
We can do that as long as there's like a Groupon for it.
A Groupon?
Then I'll commit.
But that's hilarious.
But that's probably the only way. I don't know. I think I want to do that. Honestly, I told myself the next, like, if I get a big contract in the near future, like the first thing I would do is pay off my car.
Okay, yeah.
And that's just because that's my biggest payment. I think that's my biggest, maybe not my biggest payment, but it's one of them.
Same with me, man. I have student loans. See you later.
And it's funny because I have student loans still. Yeah. Like, because that last semester, I had to take that out. And that's why I dropped out, because I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not paying for school just because the scholarship is a hot mess. So, anyways, that's a different podcast.
Different story for another day.
Yeah. But it's been real.
It's been good. This was super fun. We'll definitely do it again before I leave in August.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll talk more business. I know. I'll see you. Definitely check out Alyssa Avila. Okay, get her on Instagram, get her on Facebook, get her while she's like, you can afford this girl. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in 5 years, most of you listening will not be able to. And you'll have to hit me up for the homie hookup. And I'm going to be like, shit, bro, I can't even talk to Alyssa anymore.
No, it'll never be like that.
She got a fucking helicopter, man.
She's got the yacht.
She's got the Mark 7 helicopter.
The Mark 7. Oh my god, that's so
funny. With the surround sound. Oh shit. Oh man, that was a good time.
That was
Thank you so much for doing this.
For sure.
All right, I'll check you on the flips. All right. I hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget to check out my show, July 13th. It's Friday the 13th. I know. Crescent Ballroom, please come through, subscribe, tell your friends, throw me feedback. Should I do more episodes like this? What's good? Did you get any value from this? Did you laugh? Did you learn something? Holler at me, share this with your friends, all that good stuff. I love you all.
I was running to. Damn, can you fix the love in time? Cause the mind to trick the eye. I wonder how you're getting by. And are all those thoughts still up in your eyes? Everybody looking for the loose ends, trying to pick you for the weakness. My dear friend, ain't no secret, his heart is bleeding. Mucho gusto, me llamo Myrlin. I rock esta rima from all fucking people. Double tongue, shaman skill, I spill syllables. Like prayer songs, I prepare this preamble. From the mandible gravel, sandpit of the voice box unravel. This brown boy is well traveled. You be baffled by the lands I ramble. Slick poetic gamble, flip from the lips, spark light to your dome like a bic to a candle. I channel antepasado singing in my veins. I dismantle white supremacist aggression with my grace. The cage bird band singing, motherfucker, I ain't been afraid. I just been encaged. This sanctity you cannot fake. This stilo is bona fide, original, it's great. No, you can't duplicate. Best you can do is imitate. Trust me, fam, it's been its way. Trust me, fam, it's been its way. Trust me, fam, it's been its way.
I find myself, not for the first time, in the position of a kind of Jeremiah.